sure everyone is very disappointed today as history seems to be repeating itself. The Bruins, with a pathetic performance last night, they almost were able to luck into something, and they did not. And this seems like part of the DNA now of this team. I don't think anyone today feels very good about a Game 6, and maybe since it's in Toronto. I'll tell you this: if they don't win Game 6 in Toronto with as bad as I think they're 1-5 in their last home playoff games, if they lose in Toronto, I have absolutely no faith. Put all your money on Toronto.
But I'm telling you right now, I have all the faith that they win tomorrow night.
Why?
I thought they had that thing won twice in overtime last night. Those first two possessions that went into Toronto's end last night, I thought it was done. I thought it was over. And I think Marchand is going to be good and pissed off, as well he should be, after the call that we'll get to here in a little while. But those double minors that were the matching minors that sent him off last night when they had to go 4-on-4 was one of the more ridiculous, I think, sequences I've seen in a hockey game in a long time.
Sure.
The fact that he was going to the box at all, and that the linesman came over and took him down to the ice for. I still can't figure it out. And we're going to have Jaffe on later. I don't think Jaffe could figure it out last night. I watched it. I rewatched it. I watched it again this morning. And Marchand is not, completely innocent in that whole exchange, but he got held 2 or 3 times during that. And there was maybe one retaliatory, grab onto, Holmberg that he was mixing up with? Yeah. So he's going to be good and pissed off. I think Pastrnak obviously has to do something to reassert himself. I think it happens in Toronto in Game 6. Having said that, if for whatever reason they decide to go back to the rotation and they can't, they have to stick with Swayman.
No.
They got to put
reason
Swayman in
they
there.
were in the game after the first 10 minutes.
They have to. But we've been wrong a couple of times, at least. If you took a poll, it was 50-50 as to who was going to be in net for certain games, because we didn't really know. If for some reason they say, now it's a shorter stint here, that Swayman has gotten these 3 consecutive starts now because there's been extra time built in. If for whatever reason they go back to Ullmark for Game 6, I'm going to throw my hands up and say, well, this is what you get and this is what you deserve.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either, John, but we didn't know.
I don't think that's going to happen. Swayman was unbelievably good for long stretches of time last night, and the Bruins showed me absolutely nothing for the first period and a half, 2 periods. They got their game back in the third, but getting back to what you were saying about Marchand, that was a lousy call. What was it? That was at the end of the second period, right? I mean,
beginning of the third.
There was still a lot of time left for him to be good and pissed off.
I think the power play continued.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. They can be as angry as they want to be. The real danger to all of this is that Toronto found a goaltender that got hot. Joseph Woll is the epitome of mediocre, and he was great last night. Bruins could have won that game 3 or 4 different times. Woll was fantastic. That's the danger. That was the clear advantage you had over this team. Your goaltender was far better than theirs. That wasn't the case last night. When the Bruins finally got their act together, Woll was the reason that Toronto was able to get that game to overtime.
Well, you got to put more shots on net. We've seen this from this team earlier. I mean,
they got cute again. They got. I just pictured watching the game if you ever watch a game with Jaffe, because we're friends. He goes, shoot it. And last night in the third period, shoot it. More passes to the middle, getting broken up, sticks in the way. I don't know if Marchand was penalized twice ridiculously, but the one I thought you were talking about was 7:29 in the third.
That is the one. There was one that Marchand got called for roughing on Marner. That's the one that I was mistaken it for. That power play carried over into the third.
The Marner penalty according to Brickley, should have been on both of them. And then Marchand, you're right, didn't do anything, and then got taken down by the linesman, which it's got to be embarrassing when they watch the film. And then also, did you see the thing Hurley put out when one of the officials grabbed McAvoy, and it might be Marchand and McAvoy, but I can't remember exactly. But it was McAvoy was one of them. He grabbed him by the sweaters, and he's like shaking him, and then he's like knocking the F off. And it was funny because the both of them look like when you discipline your kids, and but when they take it, and they wouldn't just tell you to F off, when you could, and they would get like a hangdog look. They both look like it's pretty funny, but I don't recall seeing officiating like that where they were like, we're the tough guys.
I've never seen a player taken down like that by an official.
I haven't, but I'm no hockey expert, but I have not. I was Pasternak and McAvoy.
I've never seen outside of a fight where they're trying to separate the two guys. I've never seen an official skate over and physically knock a player down.
Did you hear him? Did you lip read what Marchand was saying to him?
Oh, yeah.
Get the F off me.
I thought he came up, and I think he had his left hand back.
He did.
He was getting ready.
He was getting whatever those. I don't know if it's adrenaline in quotes or whatever is coursing through those guys' veins. I thought Marchand was going to hit him.
I really thought so too.
And then the official started laughing, but I don't think Marchand was kidding. He was like, "Get the F off me."
He says it, and I'm watching it again right now. I'm trying to see if there was like another player coming at him.
No.
I think he's getting ready to hit the.
I totally agree, and I watched it a bunch of times too, and I think he was getting ready to haul off on the linesman. But by the way, out of all the players on the Bruins, what skill level do you think Maroon is at in terms of if you had to rank them by skill at this point or athletic prowess? Last. Isn't it funny though? Like Maroon stands out because you can tell it's a totally different game.
In the second period, you needed him on the ice as much as possible because this team was floundering.
And he was the reason. Funny.
It's and you know what? Give Montgomery credit. I think he double shifted him at times in the third. He had him out there a lot. Yes, he did.
And it's like Maroon and Marchand are playoff guys in Pasternak and Lindholm. No. Lindholm again, and I don't know if it's just because it's in my brain, but Lindholm again just seems to be making mistakes. Low-Rye, take it easy, was not good yesterday.
Lindholm is at his best when you don't notice he's out there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
No, I mean, and
he's not like a physical guy.
In the third, you didn't notice him, which is the good thing. The first two periods are like, oh, there he is again.
He's like a right guard.
Yeah,
you know?
Yes. Yeah. He is. He's an offensive lineman. When he does his job, that's right, he's playing, but nothing bad has happened.
I'd say he's more like a linesman. I don't look at him as a guy in the trenches.
He's more like the backfield judge.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Honestly, the goal that won it for Toronto, Toronto was getting like easy entry into the Bruins zone, and I think it's Grzelcyk who's over there on the wall.
Yeah,
and
Tavares beat him to the post, and there wasn't. That's the thing. If Tavares
after he said to Tavares, "Come on in." Yeah. There you go. There's the blue line. You've got the puck.
The Bruins
don't let me get in your way. If you want to go to the net, it's this way. Yeah, come on, I'll go with you.
Tavares put his shoulder down and just pulled and just pushed Grzelcyk to the net, and Grzelcyk just sat there. Yeah, that was terrible.
It was bad.
The thing is, they looked much better. I was optimistic entering overtime because they were much better in the third. They looked normal in the third after playing, say, 35 minutes of lousy hockey.
I think that
they looked much better in the third. I'm like, all right, great. And then they started so well in that first 90 seconds. I'm like, okay, they got this.
They had their first good shift of the game and halfway through the second period. Is they started getting physical, and before that, it was about as bad as you can play, which I don't quite understand. I don't understand what gets into this team, why they come out so flat. And it can't be coaching, because I don't think, I mean, you can't will someone to try. I don't understand what it is. I don't get what it is. But we will have all of that for you. 617-779-0985. Hey, listen, they still got a 2-game lead, but this is eerily
they lost Game 5 in overtime last year. They lost 4-3 in overtime last year at home to Florida. It's just exactly the same thing.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. For more Bruins analysis and opinion, hit this playlist.